Well, guys, I've come to the downfall of shooting movie reviews in my car. Don't do it in the wintertime. It's cold. Hey, guys, what's up? What's going on? How you guys doing? It's Autobotmike18 here, back with another movie review. Guys, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't even know what day it is. No, I lied. I do know what day it is. It is Monday, December 21st, and early morning, Monday, December 21st. I just got out of the movies. I had a double feature tonight. I went to this film theater about 25 minutes away from my house, drove a little bit to see two movies I have been dying to see that have finally started to come out of limited release. One of them is already out of limited release. The other one doesn't come out of limited release until this Friday, Christmas Day, and I got to see it early, and that is the movie I'm going to be reviewing in this video. I have poster and all. That's right, guys. The movie I'm going to be reviewing in this video is The Danish Girl. That's right, guys. The Danish Girl was the second movie I saw this evening. The first movie I saw, which I will probably post a review after my review for The Danish Girl. I think I want to get Danish Girl up first. But the movie I watched first this evening was Carol. Okay, so stay tuned for my review of Carol as well. But yeah, I went to my theater, double feature. Did a double feature. It was $26, but you know what? It was totally worth it because I really wanted to see both movies. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting shooting this in my car. I totally could have waited until another day, but I mean, it's 1 in the morning, so I can't film in my normal location right now because it's late. Everyone's probably sleeping in my house. I would have shot this tomorrow. Is that even a word? I would have shot this tomorrow during the day, but I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be on set as an extra for something, so I'm going to be there for most of the day, so I don't want to take the risk of just leaving this review, so I'm just going to shoot both these reviews now. Try to keep them quick and thorough, so I don't have to sit here and freeze my ass off in this car. And I don't want to turn it on and keep it running because I don't want to waste gas. But anyway, The Danish Girl, guys, is directed by Tom Hooper. Okay, if you guys don't know him, he most recently directed the new version, the new take on Les Miserables. Okay, so this is his newest film, and it stars big newcomers who are really starting to break out, Eddie Redmayne and Alicia Vikander. Okay, this is definitely getting some awards buzz in terms of performances, especially. I think both of the two actors have already gotten Golden Globes nominations as well as SAG Awards nominations. They're getting praise and love across the board, and I think it's very well deserving. So, guys, The Danish Girl, let's get into synopsis real quick. The movie is based on a very true story. It is set in the 1920s, late 1920s, in Denmark, primarily. Some Denmark and some France. And the movie follows a husband and wife who've been married for about 6 years. The husband, even though they said it like multiple times in this movie, I have no idea what they were saying his name, okay? I had no freaking idea. I was trying to look up. I mean, I know that, yes, Eddie Redmayne plays the husband in this movie, and he's undergoing the transition, so his actual name later on in his life is Lili, but his name when we first open on him is Einar. Okay, if I'm saying that right. I probably am not, but I'm sorry. And his wife's name is Gerda, and she's played by Alicia Vikander. All right, and they are a couple. Both of them are artists. Both of them paint thoroughly. They're both painters. Eddie Redmayne's work is sort of like really praised and beloved by everyone who sees it. Alicia Vikander is sort of like just trying to get like one specific piece just like sold and like viewed by more than one person. Okay, she uses like models and everything to do her work, and she just isn't getting, you know, the sort of attention that she sort of seeks. But anyway, one day, early on in the movie, she needs a female model for this painting. The one that she has that's supposed to arrive is a little bit late, so she has her husband step in and sit down to model for her painting. So he literally just takes a dress and puts it like over him, and there's a very, very brief and tender moment where he's just feeling out the dress and just getting the feel of being almost being a woman, essentially, just wearing a dress, even though he's just doing it as a model. And this is like the inciting incident in the movie where everything just changes, and he starts seeing things from a totally new perspective, and he starts to realize, maybe this isn't the body for me, okay? Maybe I like dressing up as a woman. I feel content doing this, you know what I mean? And at first, Alicia Vikander is really accepting of this. They sort of make a game out of it almost. But then it starts to get serious, and he's like deadlocked. He's like, okay, I need to get out of this body. This is not my body anymore, okay? And she realizes how serious this is getting, and it's going to cause a major strain on their marriage because he wants to undergo the surgery, which has basically never been tested before because it's the 1920s, to transition into a woman, okay, and receive a vagina. So that is basically essentially the premise behind The Danish Girl. Now, I was definitely looking forward to this movie, guys. I loved the trailer that was released for this movie. It's probably one of the more intriguing trailers I've seen all year. It has some incredible score as well. And I was really pumped, and I don't think I've seen a Tom Hooper movie because I did not see Les Mis, so I don't recall seeing one. If there is one, as I try to warm up my hands, I don't recall seeing it. So I definitely was intrigued to see the movie. I wanted to hear about the story because I did like no research going into this movie. I didn't want to know a thing about the person that this movie is based off of, Lili. I really did not want to know anything about it, okay? And I gotta say, I left the theater very pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed The Danish Girl, okay? And I really... It kind of hit me hard in a way in a few moments. It really did. And I think that that's obviously due in fact to the performances, because Eddie Redmayne and Alicia Vikander are totally 2 stars to absolutely look out for nowadays. Alicia Vikander, man, she has had a year in film. Holy crap. She has been in Ex Machina, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I did not see, and now The Danish Girl, okay? So she is on fire this year, and I am so happy because she is so good. She's now in 2 of the best movies I've seen all year. So congrats to Alicia. She absolutely deserves it. She is incredible in this movie. And I love how she's not just a supporting character, okay? And Eddie Redmayne is, he's not the central focus of this movie. A big part of this movie's theme is the sanctity of marriage and whether and how it begins to crumble as he starts to go through this very huge identity crisis and realize he's not who he should be, or he feels just different, and he feels connected to the idea of being a woman or actually being a woman, and he just wants to go and pursue that, and it really is going to take a heavy toll on their marriage, and I really like that. But the one reason why The Danish Girl worked incredibly well for me is because it's a really culturally relevant movie, and it's very impacting in that sense. Because this is a movie where it's a period piece, and it works incredibly well as a period piece because the time, the setting, time-wise, works to the movie's advantage because in that time period, this was incredibly rare. Men were not just dropping everything and realizing, holy crap, I feel different. I feel like I should be in a woman's body. I feel more connected to that side of me. Okay, and vice versa. That wasn't going on a lot, okay? So Eddie Redmayne's character, Einar, all right, as he later becomes known as Lili, this was incredibly rare. He's one of the first people, based on a true story, to undergo the sex reassignment surgery, okay, and therapy and all that. And I think that this is a really important story, and I like how it's being told now. I feel that they did it justice from what I later went on to read up about the movie. I read up a little bit about the movie. I know a lot of people were upset that they cast Eddie Redmayne and they didn't actually cast a transgender person to go through the role, but I feel that he worked great in the role, and I understand that maybe would have added some more to the movie. Maybe it would have made it hit home a bit more. Okay, maybe more people would have felt or bought into it more, but I totally bought into it from, I would say, about 20 minutes in. Because, yeah, one fear I definitely had going into the movie as I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, Eddie Redmayne is dressing up in he's in a woman's dress, he has a red wig on, and he's going to walk out amongst society. When he goes to that party scene, okay, and starts talking to people, how are people going to, are they really going to believe, his voice is still, it's not changed, okay, that's Eddie Redmayne's voice, and he talks very low throughout the whole movie when he's talking to another person, but I was like, are they really going to buy that this, are they not going to think something's a little fishy, so that was one thing I was really concerned about. I was like, is he going to pull off the fact that his character mentally feels connected to that feminine side of them and wants to become and go through the transition. So I wasn't really sure if I was going to buy into that. If the characters around them were going to buy into it. But the way they handled it in the movie was very well done. And Eddie Redmayne was brilliant in this movie, okay? He breaks down several times, and it really hits me. It really hits you hard. It's one of the best performances I've seen in a movie all year. I think it should definitely get Oscar love. In terms of his Theory of Everything performance, I enjoy the Theory of Everything. I don't love it like everybody else does. I think this movie, I think a lot more was demanded of him emotionally, because yeah, a lot was demanded of him in that movie as well, but I feel like this is such like a delicate subject matter, and it's so just relevant, and the way he handled it was so incredibly well done. He brought so much emotion to this character. He made you feel for him. He made you break down with him. Okay, he just got so emotionally invested into the role. He's just an incredibly charming guy when we open on him in the movie. He's a great husband character. Okay, and just to see the dilemma he goes, just to see the distress on him and just breaking down and just being corrupted by everything and just going through that internal battle and seeing that effect on him, the way he pulled it off facially and in terms of the character's mental state is brilliant, okay? I bought into him. I bought his struggle. I felt for him, and that is why Eddie Redmayne gave one of the best performances of the year. There is a moment where he is breaking down, and it's just the camera's literally just holding on him, and he is just bawling, okay? And I'm totally buying it. That is totally coming from him as an actor, and I absolutely loved it. He's brilliant. Alicia Vikander in this movie also killed it. This is one of her best performances of the year, one of the best female performances of the year. When she gets nominated for an Oscar, which she absolutely will, she is going to get nomination in the leading actress category because she is indefinitely a lead in this movie. She, as much as painful as it is for Eddie Redmayne to have to undergo this surgery and this transition, it's even more painful for her because she is not only losing a man that she once knew, but she's losing her husband. Okay, and it really starts to tear their marriage apart. She starts to break down in several moments. Her reactions to everything are spot on in this movie. She was also a very strong-willed character, in my opinion, to have to be able to mentally deal with this. I love how her character wasn't just the type of character who's like, okay, I'm quitting, I'm leaving, I'm done. You want to transition and become a woman? Great. Thanks for 6 years, I'm out. Okay, I love that, all right? I love how her character stuck by him for the majority, even though it was an incredibly rough patch, and she had some just very difficult moments where it was incredibly difficult for her to cope with everything that's been going on, and I just wholly bought into it. Excellent performances from the two leads. The best things working for this movie by far, okay? Not saying the movie's bad or anything, because it is really, really good. I think Tom Hooper did a fantastic job behind the camera. The shots are gorgeous in this movie, man. There are some gorgeous looking wides in this movie that just started to make my mouth water at one point. It looked really good. I think the costume design is incredible. The dresses and everything, just the the hemming and the hemming. What? The costume design and everything. It looks like a 1920s period piece that added incredibly to the authenticity of the setting. I think the pacing is really good. The editing is really good. There's a nice flow to the movie. There's not one point where I fell out of the movie or felt like it was dragging. Everything really worked very well in that aspect. I think the scenes between Eddie Redmayne and Alicia Vikander are the best. They're very deep and touching. and incredibly personal, okay? And I think that the movie sends out a really solid message that I think is very prevalent in today's society, because there are a lot of people going through the same issue that he was in this movie in terms of gender identity. And it sends out a very important message to those people, okay? And it's really, really beneficial and impacting, and it should really affect not just the target of this movie, I would say, but really just anybody who watches it. It's very inspiring, and I really, really loved that, and I really, really felt it as I was watching the movie. I know several people who are transgender, okay? In my college, I know one person who is literally, it literally just happened like a month ago. The person came out and is going through the transition, and it's like, this is just how it is. People feel they have to do this because it's just who they're identifying as, and there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And yeah, the movie never painted it in a negative light or anything. I love the way that the subject matter was handled. If I had to complain about one thing about the movie, I felt things got a little cliche-y when the other male character comes into the movie. I believe his name was Hans, and he's played by Matthias Schoenarts, okay? I know I'm butchering the guy's name, I'm sorry. Good actor. Character-wise, felt it was very cliche to have this sort of love triangle sort of forming between these three characters. He comes in, Alicia Vikander's character starts to lean towards him a bit more. I literally felt like I was watching The Theory of Everything again, which is one of the things I didn't care for too much about that movie, even though I feel that movie handled that better than this movie did, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's how I feel about The Danish Girl. It's my only complaint, really. I loved everything else with it. I definitely recommend you see it. It's very uplifting. It's very inspiring. It's also very touching. The ending is incredibly sad and frustrating, but I really, really loved it. I definitely recommend it. Guys, I'm going to give The Danish Girl a solid grade of an A- or a 9 out of 10. Definitely give it a watch when it comes to a theater near you, if it does this coming Christmas Day. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review for The Danish Girl. Let me know what you guys thought of it if you've seen it down below. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for my review of Carol, which should be coming up literally right after I upload this. And thanks so much as always for watching, guys. I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.